comes in the room or whatever, when I cut the phone off, that means somebody else is in there and I'm not going to have their voice be recorded. So the reason why I shut the live all the way down is because the person wanted to have a conversation and there was no need for me to keep my live running. Now, what I've done since I've talked to y'all is I have made my probiotic tea. I showed y'all the box. And so what I'm doing is I boiled my water for my probiotic tea. I did my, I have one of these bars. Um, when I tasted it the other day, everybody was saying that it tastes all good. It has 7 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. It's only 170 calories. This will be for my snack, like maybe 12, because after I drink all that stuff, I won't be hungry. Probably not. But I'll have something in there for dinner. I'm not really too sure. I have mushrooms. I have broccoli. I will eat them raw. They don't need to be cooked. So first of all, let me apologize for having to shut the live down. I was in here with somebody else, and that's the reason why I decided to shut the live down so that their voice wouldn't get captured, and somebody would take it and run with it and try to make it seem like I was trying to record them on my live when I was already live before they even came down the steps, which is cool. But folks will try to twist stuff. So I just went ahead and shut it down, and now I'm back. So I made my tea, and because I got a little distracted, I started adding the boiled water, which is, it's okay. I might just go ahead and finish with the boiled water now. Because I done started it. And what will happen is, um, let me see how hot the boiled water is. It's not too hot. It actually cooled off some. It's okay. Usually I don't do boiled water, but because I started it already, it's fine. Um, this is for my regular drinking water. And sometimes what people will do is they will put it in a pot and boil it. So the boiling water is not all the way wrong. It's really not. Um, so it's some in here. And I'll probably boil some more because there won't be enough. So I'll show y'all what it looks like in a minute. I will show y'all in 1 minute what it looks like. All right, so make sure my camera's down. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So that's the boiled water. I cut up my lemons. That's my tea. I told y'all about the monk fruit. The reason why I really try not to use or any of them other ones, stevia is exceptionally sweet. Listen, the other day I had to have coffee with sugar. Listen, the coffee was good. The reason why I don't do sugar is because the coffee sweetener, and I'm gonna show y'all the sweetener. Listen, I like caramel, I like hazelnut, and I like coconut cream, right? See, it already has 5 grams of sugar in it. So when you're talking about putting more sugar in it, I have to watch the amount of sugar that I will put into my body, because if you're not burning it, it turns into fat. And if you notice, I was with some males the other day, some men, excuse me, I don't want to be disrespectful, and all of their stomachs were bigger than mine at 191 pounds. Pay attention to what I said. All of them were over 200 pounds. One of them looked to be about 275, 280. But the point is, all of their stomachs were bigger than mine. I done had 2 children. 2. It's not an easy task to keep your stomach flat. When I was 15, my stomach was not flat. I got pictures. It's never really been washboard flat except for when I was 12. But as I began to grow and grow and grow, it got where it is now, a little pooch, a little pouch. Actually, the pouch is a little bit larger now because I not too long ago had surgery. So I'm in here. I'm getting ready to boil some more water. Let me turn the camera off. Hold on, because in case somebody drop in my chat and try to screenshot where I am, because I'm not trying to do that. So I am going to cover some more of the Nolan Wells stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it over. I'm going to try to do it on my stream here. What I want to try to do is I want to team up with somebody in the beef sector, somebody like Ness, if you're listening. Ness is one of my moderators, in case you all did not know. Lemon is too, but I have not seen Lemon back over here since I made him moderator, which is fine. I'm his mod too. And the reason why I've already said I don't go over there is because he's doing beef sector content, and I don't really do beef sector content. I dropped in Lady Nika's chat the other day because she supports me, and a lot of times I'll be in her clouds, and the reason why I don't will not come out of the clouds is because people say such nasty, despicable, horrible things to me that every now and then I'll drop down and let her know. But she knows that I'm in her clouds. And for you all that don't know, we are going to do a lupus panel this week, the end of the week at 7 o'clock. Today, what I'm going to do is 10:42. I have to go and look back at some footage that was released because the footage actually shows Nolan Wells in the pool, but there's also audio of people calling his name. So I heard a lot of it last night with Smoking News. He gives he's been giving wonderful commentary about this Nolan Wells thing. I don't know if you all follow him. He must be fairly new, because what will usually happen with me is anybody that does news, they pop up in my feed. So because I've not really listened to the beef sector too much, they've basically sort of fell out of my algorithm. So Smoking News, he must be new because he's popped up in my algorithm. So even the church sector stuff, I'll go listen. I won't necessarily drop down in their chats because they may not agree with the fact that I've been saying some things about my former past. Oh, so, by the way, sorry, Pastor Wilder, that I had to drag you on my wall earlier because of your selfish wife. I apologize. I know it's not you, because I know if I came up there and asked you for a hot dog or hamburger, I know you would have gave it to me, but I know your wife probably would have told me I couldn't have it. See, I want to clear, because, she just like Frankie. See, it's that whole Frankie situation again. See, pay attention. Pay attention. She told people that came to the church, they actually physically was there, and she told them that they couldn't have a hot dog or hamburger. And I sent an email, very discreet, but got embarrassed openly. So that's why I did that. See, I don't mind taking accountability for my wrong about a hamburger, a hot dog, and whatever else y'all might have had. I can always say that. I can always go back and say this, though, Pastor Wilder. If you ever needed my help, I bet you I would give it to you. As vindictive and mean and nasty as you think I am, if you were sitting right here right now, you needed my help with anything, I would do it. I'm not the bad person that you allow people to paint me out to be. It's okay that you do that. I'm not mad at it. But I had to tell the truth where the truth is. Sometimes you have to draw the line in the sand. And when somebody says something like, oh, she can't get a hamburger or a hot dog, well, why not? She ain't on the church premises. Why can't we run it over there? If it was you, I would have. But I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm just showing you that sometimes you can draw the line in the sand without hollering and screaming. Why can't she have a hamburger, hot dog? We either going to divide it amongst ourselves or throw it in the trash. See, Ellen, I'm showing that you selfish. You're selfish. See, you worry about your kids, your grandkids. Y'all all ate yesterday. I didn't say that I didn't eat, but you know how you tried to throw me away. Now, see, listen, Ellen, pay attention to how you did that. I couldn't join the church. I couldn't be at the picnic. I can't be around your husband. It's already been determined that he and I are not close. I'm always dragging him on my page when, technically speaking, I should not be, and that's okay. Because for real, you're the real contention and strife of the reason why we don't get along. Because every time I ask him something, you are right there to tell me no. All you do is make yourself look bad. You ain't never made me look bad. Even that situation with his mama. You make yourself look bad. Ma'am, I'm not married to the man. That's your mama-in-law. She ain't mine. I bet you if I had a mother-in-law and my mother-in-law wasn't doing too well, I would tell my husband, hurry up and go get her. But see, you're selfish. If that was your mama, I bet you your mama would be bunked up at your house. See, I'm going to talk about you. Because that wasn't right. Don't nobody really care that I ain't get no hamburger and hot dog yesterday. For real, for real. or that I didn't come to the church picnic because the fake ass first lady didn't want me at the picnic and don't want me to make up with her husband. She wants us to keep arguing back and forth like a bunch of banshees and a bunch of barbaric people. No, ma'am. You're the one that keeps swallowing communion that say that you believe in God. That's you that keep telling that lie. See, the Bible that you keep reading from, go check it out, ma'am. Let me help you out. I ain't got my Bible down here, but I know it. It's Matthew 18 that say if you have an ought against somebody. Well, it looked like me and Alan have been arguing for about 10 years. You want us to keep on arguing, fake ass first lady? Because that don't make sense. Yesterday, I asked the man to bring me a hamburger and a hot dog, and your fake ass, selfish self wouldn't even let the man do that. He couldn't. Why he couldn't bring me? Didn't your family eat all that was there? See, that's how selfish and wrapped up into you is. If I had to look at that face every day, well, I would drink too. That's what I said. Paul Mason, I don't know. But baby, I will go get the strongest of the drinks. You know, the kind that costs a couple of dollars. You know, the kind that's reserved at the hotel. You don't know nothing about that, Ellen? See, they got certain drinks at the hotel that you can't buy in the store. See, you had been some places to know that. I ain't talking about no Paul Mason, baby. That's a cheap thing, baby. They got some liquor in the hotel that you had to have a couple dollars for. It ain't no $100 drink, baby. It's not. See, I've been some places and done some things. Just because you don't see me drinking, I don't drink. But people that I've been with, they do. You know, scotch, the brown stuff. Right. Scotch in a hotel, the right hotel, can either be 500 or 5,000. Depends on what you get, glass or bottle. Been some places, done some things. What's Tamala say? Been a lot of places, but I never what? Been in this place. Listen to the words of the song. That's what she said. In this place. Pay attention. See, everything ain't church all the time. You think that I'm endowed with church. I've been some places with, and some of the people that I know that like to tip, they like to sip, swallow. Some of them drink the whole bottle. Some of them sip, swallow, and some of them drink the whole bottle. That's just not me. But if I had to look at your face every day, I ain't gonna lie. I might would have to drink the whole bottle and deal with your nasty attitude. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't want to lose focus. So, anyway, yeah, because that was really corny what you did over some ham. See, you like for Alan to get roasted and embarrassed about some hamburgers. Well, he's not selfish like that, but he married to somebody that's selfish. See, that would make me think if he ever really needed something, he probably couldn't ask you. Because, see, I see the way you do him and his mama up there. Mama Velvet, the pretty light-skinned lady with the glasses, and she had one of them old press and curl. Looked like she had a press and curl. It wasn't no relaxing in there because them curls was... Baby, them curls was laid. They was real laid. And see, they only get real laid like that when you get a press and curl. Relaxers don't keep your hair. I used to work in the salon. Relaxers don't keep your pressing. It don't. Point I'm trying to make of is you do too much. You cause all this friction between me and the man. Then when I get around the man, people be thinking that I'm romantically interested. After I done argued with him, dragged him, called him all sorts of types of names. Really, Ellen? You know, if I was standing in front of a judge right now, that judge would laugh me out his courtroom. Ask me why. Because wouldn't no judge really believe that two people who ain't never had no sexual contact argue like cats and dogs? But they don't know that the core root of us arguing is the man's wife. A judge would laugh if I stood up there and said, me and Pasquale ain't never had no sexual contact. Why y'all arguing like that? See, that's what I'm telling you, Ellen, before you even attempt to walk yourself down to... A judge would laugh because the judge would say, y'all ain't had no affair and y'all arguing back and forth for 10 whole years. What y'all arguing over? What are you arguing over? If she came back to the church and she wanted to make amends, why couldn't you do that? Oh, because your wife said, let her stay out. Your wife, see, you the bone of contention. It's called a cantankerous woman. That's what the Bible says. I ain't got it down here. It's upstairs. Cantankerous woman. You're mean. You're nasty. You would rather for us go back and forth, me drag the man on his wall, tell the man's business, is whatever. Then me make up with the man. See, I don't be wanting to drag Pastor Waller and say mean things. I just don't. That's why the other day when Diva Time Boyish hit that panel, I wasn't trying to have that conversation, Ellen. I was not. See, you do things, and then Alan is left to clean it up like he's the cleanup boy at the supermarket. See, he ain't aging like fine wine. He just aging. I'm not being smart, Alan. Please don't take that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that she's working your last. I already know I work your nerves. See, I ain't lied about it. See, I already know I work your last nerves, Alan. I know that because I be dragging you on my page and stuff. And somebody gonna read it and say, why they arguing like that? And ain't because of Ellen. See, Ellen caused all this friction 10 years ago. And every time I send him, if I send him a thank you card, ma'am, if I sleep outside at the Queen Lane train station, ain't no beds at the Queen Lane train station, Ellen. You got all them college degrees, and you drive by there, Ellen. Ain't no beds there, ma'am. If I slept outside at the Queen Lane train station, your husband wasn't with me. Are you okay? Cause I would like you to tell that same dumbass story. Tell that to a judge that I was homeless for the whole month of what? May into June, and you kept accusing me. Tell that dumbass story to a judge, cause they gonna look at you like you on drugs. I'm just telling you. Nobody is going to believe that a homeless woman is sleeping with a pastor. It doesn't matter who the pastor is. See, that's how I know your brains don't work too right. The clock don't go all the way around. The elevator don't reach the top floor. See, you're a can short of a six-pack, because how is somebody sleeping on a train bench, riding the train, the bus, and you say they were sleeping with your husband? So you think your husband I would sleep with him and be outside? Right, run back and forth to the Planet Fitness to take showers? Ellen, you do know that every time you check into the Planet Fitness, it tells you where you're at. See? You know how you lied to the people and said I had came up there? No, ma'am, I never been to your house. See, I have to defend myself because you told some lies about me that ain't make no sense. And if I put my business all the way out there, my doctors will laugh at you. They would have to laugh at you because you sound ridiculous. I'm sleeping with a man, but I'm laying on a park bench with a trench coat that was covering me up. You got plenty of college degrees. You know, I'm just working on my bachelor's. Plenty of college degrees, but no damn common sense at all. Somebody gonna ride the bus all night, up and down the street, go over to the hospital to get seen. Then you tell that lady at that hospital to put me out because I wasn't sick. You had hoped that I would have an accident on myself. The medication that the people gave me made me sick. See, you chased me so much, Ellen, and I just had been quiet about it. I ain't said too much about it. But you keep on causing all this friction between me and that man over there, and it don't make no sense. And he suffered in silence and his hair turned gray. He allowed to suffer in silence. He ain't got to never say what's really going on, why him and I is arguing, but I'm going to tell it the reason why, because that man ain't did nothing wrong. You don't want the church to help me, so you told the man to put me out. I'm going to blast you, baby. I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. They ain't going to have nothing on me. Ma'am, you did too much. I walked back and told your husband I was sorry. I'm going to go under the knife, and what you did, you told the man to put me out. Fake ass first lady. See, I'm going to let everybody know who was the real root cause of the problems for the last 10 years. See, Ellen, you live where you live because of me. When I met your husband, you know, the light-skinned man with the glasses. When I met him, y'all could have been living up there, but you ain't had no ideas for ministry. But see, here you go, Ellen. See, watch this. I'm going to get a notebook, and I want you to get a notebook. And what I want you to do is, I want you to do what I've been doing since 1994. See, I've been writing ideas before I even came your way. It's proven. My son's father had a church over in Camden, and I wrote everything that was there. But we're going to wipe the slate clean. Watch this, Ellen. I'm going to go to the store and get 2 books. I'm going to send you one, and I'm going to have one. Now, here's the whole thing, though. Pay attention. You can fill up one, and I can fill up one, but I actually can fill up more than one. But, you know, because where you can't compete where you don't compare, I'm going to let you fill yours up, and I'm going to do about 5. Why? Because I really could, and you really can't. See, because if you really could write something, you're living in the overflow of ideas that I wrote. See, I'm not. I'm not. See, you caused all this friction between me and this man, and you continue to be the bone of contention cause friction. Then I got to come back and drag him, drag you. See, I'm gonna lay down my sword for the Lord. Uh-huh. See, David wanted to slew Goliath. He did, and he went and he got him some stones, and he said that he was gonna go down and slew Goliath. I'm not trying to knock your husband off of anything. Now, I might be trying to embarrass you. That's not no secret. Stop saying clean up on aisle 6, Alan, could you get it? And no, you don't say that, but you do it. You do the most cantankerous things. And then your husband, like when you had me beat, you had me assaulted and stuff. You want me to tell that story? You want to tell how them lesbians was over there chasing me at Sacred Heart, talking about why you don't want to have sex with women? Because you done been beat by the men? No, I still like the men. Testosterone. See, when I go in the gym, I be looking at the men, Ellen. I don't look at the women. You and I are not the same. See, you're hiding up under Pastor Waller. You're making people think that you're straight. You and I are not the same. You had them lesbians over there about to try to take me in the bathroom, honey. Because that's what's happened. It was paperwork so thick. Listen, you did. They was looking at me strange, talk about Jesus. Listen, I don't care who in church laugh at Catherine. I don't care who in church think I was crazy when I wanted to sleep on a park bench and wouldn't go home with the fake ass first lady and her husband. I don't care about that. The reason why I don't care is because I wasn't supposed to go home with you and Alan and sleep with you. See, that's Rondia. You got us mixed up. Now, if you want me to tell a Rondia story from Front and Godfrey, I got plenty of them. You forgot that. Did you really forget that me and Rondia lived together? Because that's not a Catherine made up. I'm telling you, I can go get them records from that house, that apartment where we lived with Rondia, and myself. So, yeah, you might not want to ever say that that's a lie, because it's not a lie. When she came in, she looked like a dude, and that's why I asked them, what you say her name was? They said, oh, she a female, right, because she looked like... Listen, I don't give the appearance. You think because I've been behind bars that I'm a rough female. No, I'm not. I'm very feminine. Unlike you, who's trying to take the masculinity from her husband. It's called emasculating, right? You're trying to make him soft, and you're trying to be the hard one. And isn't that what you're doing by running over him like he train tracks? Alan don't stand a chance. In his own church, in his own home. Yesterday, me asking him for... Right. See, Ellen, you cause all this tension, and then you think you'll just smooth it over. You would never. Because I want to know what a judge think is funny, how them lesbians was chasing me up and down the hallways of Sacred Heart. I want to know if a judge would think it's funny that at nighttime I had to push a dresser behind the door to keep the lesbians out from coming and getting me while I was asleep. I want to know if a judge going to think that. So here you go, Ellen. File your paperwork and take me to court so I could tell a judge how you had them almost whip my behind over there. And tell them, because I'm going to tell it. I'm not ashamed of it. See, your husband can't really protect you, for real, because you really did all that stuff over there to me. You want me to name names? Smoke was only one. Amina was another one. Right. See, they was just chasing me back and forth, and staff was allowing it because they wanted to see. I had all types of God stuff on my door, on my wall about God, and guess what? They really didn't believe that I believed in the God of my salvation, but for anybody that's ever met me, they know that I do. It's not about me being celibate. See, you got enough stuff for 10 lifetimes. You could find plenty of women up there in the main line where you live at. You ain't got to come down here to North Philly because you know your nose so far up in the air, I need a ladder to pull it down. But you had them women up there chasing me, following me to the shower. I actually had to try to get up early to avoid, you was doing stuff like that. See, and that's why when you did that with that stuff that over there playing the fitness, I wasn't taking showers. I know you failed physical education. You must have got an F. You ain't get an A. See, let me help you out. A female would never be walking around in 190-degree weather without taking a shower. You should know that. You got 2 daughters that you carried and pushed out. So then why would you tell people I don't take showers? Because I was homeless? I ain't showed up at nobody's church, not showered. But go ask the pastor where I went. I hugged his wife, shaked his hand. I don't recall smelling like anything but soap, body wash. When I came in their church, I said, I'm homeless. They ain't look at me funny. That was you up there, fake ass first lady, because I ain't want to be with you. I'm going to air you all the way out like dirty laundry. You know when your laundry dirty, you want to get it out your room so that it don't smell? When you said that Catherine smell, baby, you did the wrong thing. You did the wrong thing. You should have had just what? Not said nothing. Trying to tell people I don't take showers. Fake ass first lady. If anything, you should have been handing me some body wash and saying, "Do you need a rag too? You going over to the Planet Fitness?" That wasn't you. You was trying to throw rings around Catherine. Now I'm gonna throw some rings around you. Right. Why you ain't want to come down here yesterday? What you thought the folks was going to ask you for something you was afraid to bring? See, that was the opportunity to minister. You could have put enough food down here for the whole block and put a track in the bag and said, yeah, we just came down here to... But see, no cameras was rolling, no lights, no camera, no action. So I don't want to come down there and I'm not going to be seen. I'm not going to be seen on a TV of men. You don't need to be seen of men. You need to be seen by God. You don't need to be seen of men. These people don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in, and you're worrying about what they could think. When I asked you for a hamburger, a hot dog, right? That was you, fake ass first lady, probably sitting up there on the road right now while I'm over here dragging you from Philadelphia back to the main line where you live. You know, you jump in your car and you always think that you're something that you're not. I ain't talking about that weaving that you got sewed into your bobblehead. That's not what I'm talking about. Be the first one jump up when Allen preached. And then the man ain't even get halfway out the pulpit before you're running them down like train tracks. He can't even run his church. Everybody got to do what you say like you, Jezebel. That's what I said. That's why I dragged your husband. That's what I did. I'm supposed to. Because that's why God told the prophet, go tell Jezebel that she out of order. I'm going to say it one more time. God told the prophet, go tell Jezebel she out of order. Who it was? It was King Ahab. He was married to Jezebel. Is Alan married to Jezebel, always thinking she want to run everything? Order. God. God stands for what? Good, orderly direction. Why your husband keep preaching from a Bible he don't believe? Can't believe in it because you ain't got no order in your home. Your wife tell you what to do at home and church. See, let me make it plain for you, Ellen. See, pay attention to the words that's coming out my mouth. The Bible says, the Lord is my shepherd. That means your husband is the under shepherd. Newsflash. He the under shepherd. And that means you're under him and your kids are under that. See, pay attention to how that go. God first, your husband, and then you. Your husband the head and you're the neck. You ain't figured out yet what you supposed to be. You've been married almost 40 years and still ain't figured out that you ain't supposed to run over Alan. Go to a furniture store. You ain't got to believe me. Do the queen bed be bigger than the king size bed? No, it's not. They got a king and they got a California king and a queen. No queen size bed that they make that I've ever seen in anybody's home, and anybody's home I ever cleaned was ever bigger than a king. But there you are, Ellen, trying to be bigger than a program. Trying to make, you're not. You're out of order first lady. Fake ass first lady. Right. You know, last week you was having people trying to come in the shower when I'm in there. You know, female. See, because ain't that what happened over there at Sacred Heart? They was chasing me around. See, right. And then you going to tell somebody, I don't got good sense. Well, if I don't got good sense, let me not have good sense. I got sense enough not to have no sex with no woman. Because what? Two women don't make no baby. Two men don't either. But you're the one that's attached to a man, though. A man that still thinks that's all this time that he ain't never going to win you over. He's not. Sorry, Alan, you're not. Because you're just attached to somebody that wants what you, and you're allowed to be. But what I'm allowed to be is get myself clear of a situation where your wife lied. And here we are 10 years later, and you want me to, I ain't going along with nothing. See, because if I have to go to jail, pay attention to how I'm saying this, Alan. If I have to go to jail, you and your wife going to come with me. I don't know why. I've been telling y'all that for 10 years. See, you and your wife is going to come right along with me. And see, I know you and your wife don't want to be behind bars. I'm not going to say why. I just said y'all don't want to be behind bars. All three of us know why. I don't have to say that. I don't feel led to say that. See, if you want to straighten out the situation, I'm going to say it like I told Deacon Cannon. We can go to court and then I can tell the judge everything I got to tell him. But don't keep playing this behind the scenes game that you've been playing for 10 years. See, you won't never dangle my freedom in front of my face. I'm not no rabbit and you ain't dangling no carrots. How it was yesterday, Ellen, was folks was telling me that my sister was sick. Folks was telling me that my sister was sick. Was I supposed to run up there to the hospital? Or was I supposed to call and make sure? I was supposed to call and make sure. See, that was another one of your tricks. Because why would the hospital not have who she is? Even if they didn't have her photo ID. You sound goofy. I'm the one that was born at Temple, Ellen, since you know so much. My sister wasn't born here in the city. So now since you had the facts, get them right. My sister wasn't born here in the city. I was. I never lied about being born at Temple. I said I don't go to Temple. They're not my hospital. They're not. They're not. But I've been gracious to you, First Lady Ellen. I've been real gracious to you. I have not said all. I've had decor about myself, something you ain't never had. And class, something you ain't never had. I know how to treat people, something you don't know how to do. Right. You don't. You never did. Your husband standing there and he shake people's hands, and when he look for you, you on the way out the door, as if the people who are there to support y'all on Sundays don't mean nothing. You only got 5 minutes to shake the people's hand, don't you? Do you? Right. The people that put their tithes in, the people that put their talent and their energy into the church that your husband pastor, right? Then you want to teach somebody something on Mondays, a women's girl, please. You can't even teach yourself how to take care of your mother-in-law. What are you talking about? Or teach yourself how to be respectful to the woman that had your husband so that you could have a husband. You ain't learned that yet. See, in the African culture, pay attention, Ellen, mother-in-laws are important. Go look it up. Don't believe me. In the African culture, mother-in-laws are important. I know in America it's a little bit different, but don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Go see what mother-in-law means in other cultures. And then, because I know that you're from Barbados, but go look it up what it means in Africa. And I know we're not African, but you're always saying that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know she ain't sitting on the front row with you like she used to. You know, you're the one that's making it hard for the man having to run back and forth between Ohio and Pennsylvania. That's not me. I'm not in his circle, square, corner, none of that. And could have got along with him if you would give him some breathing room and start breathing down his neck like something going on. Ain't nothing going on. I can't even establish a hello without you thinking, no, because I don't want you and goodbye. And that's how that goes. Now, back to what I was doing with my boiler, my water for my, here go my water, hold on. Uh-oh, wait a minute, hold on, y'all, I gotta get my battery for my phone, hold on. To get my battery. I got it, it's right here, hold on, y'all, I gotta get my battery for my phone. I didn't realize the power was that low. Hold on, y'all, hold on before my phone died. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. All right. So I had to put on my, I had to plug my phone up to my wireless charger. So yeah, see, here's the whole thing, Ellen. I came to this trip around to work in ministry with your husband. You know, something that you don't think that people can really do. See, let me tell you a little bit about me so you can stop the nonsense right now. When my son's father had a church over in Camden, I wrote all those ideas. You know, the ones that y'all stole? See, I don't even care that I said that. Those are old ideas. They're not new. They're not new. Those ideas were from 1994 when I stepped in y'all church in 2008. But I had already stepped in y'all church when y'all had that blood drive. But I'm talking about stepped in there to join. You thought you hit the jackpot. How could you hit the jackpot on something that How could you hit the jackpot on something that somebody has already used? See, I told you wasn't smart. That's why Granada said what he said. Let me repeat it for you. You cannot hit the jackpot on something that's already been used. You can't plagiarize it. You can't. If he already used it and then you got a hold of it more than 10 years later, you didn't hit the jackpot. You just think you did. You always think that you're the smartest person in the room. No, you're not. How you hit the jackpot on something he used in 94 and you didn't get it till 2008, but you're running around here? Right. So that's the story. You got something old and tried to rework it, reuse it. It really didn't matter. It didn't. Because, see, when I came back this time, I said, let's wipe the slate clean. But that wasn't good enough for you, Ellen. You still wanted to fight. I'm going to just let you fight by yourself. See, I'm going to get me some popcorn. You know that good old popcorn and stuff. You know the old-fashioned kind with the kernels. And then, you put it on the stove. I'm not going to buy the kind that's already made because it might have too much salt in it for my body. I'm going to get them old-fashioned kernels. Put them right on the stove, not Jiffy Pop. They sell the kernels in a jar. I'm going to do it that way. See, that way I can control whether I put salt and butter on it because I ain't supposed to have too much of that. I'm going to get my popcorn and I'm going to watch. See, I got a book. It's up there at your church. What's the name of the book, Ellen? Tell everybody what it is. Oh, you want me to tell them? Okay, I'll tell them. See, it's called E9 North. It say A Vision. That's what it say. By Catherine Sherelle Powell. That would be me. I'm going to get my popcorn and I'm going to see if the first lady who talk all that trash caused all this friction between me and her husband. I got my popcorn to see if she can write that book. I'm waiting to see this. You're a liability. You're not an asset. Difference. The only genius around here look like it's me. I ain't dressed up right now. My wig off. Right. I'm going to get me some popcorn and see if the first lady who always running around, you make it such a point. He couldn't talk to me. That's how we got in this situation the first time. And you just keep going in, I'm going to air you out. Listen, I don't know what sorority you in. I don't care. Your sorority sister's going to start looking at you like you're crazy when I get finished with our story. And I ain't even add Rondia to it yet. But when I get finished telling them how you had me bounced out of every place I live. You forgot about that, Ellen? That was you that was doing that. Remember 27th in Oxford? That was you that was doing that. It was no bed in there. I was sleeping on. You don't remember? Because I got all the addresses. You want me to repost them back on my wall today so I can embarrass you some more? You know I'm going to repost them back on my wall after that stunt you pulled yesterday. I just want you to know. I stayed in recovery houses, it's true. But you were using the staff to harass me. Like you did with LaRonda. See, LaRonda been married 5 times. See, because she like you. She was looking for a husband that would take her like in the women. So she 1, 2, 3, 4 ain't get it. 5 got it. Right. And I ain't really judging her. I'm just saying, if you like to jump in the lady pond, swim in it, dip in it, just don't tap me on my behind, breast, and none of that, because that's not what I do. I respect the fact that you like women and got a husband. Respect the fact that I like men and I don't have nobody. So I'm giving you the heads up. You're going to get dragged on my page later on because you ain't had no business causing friction. And I said that on purpose. I said it like I meant it. Friction between me and Alan yesterday over no hamburger and hot dog with your petty ass self. All that food that y'all had at that church and that man couldn't bring me nothing. You selfish. But then if you selfish with your mother-in-law, what more can I say? Because she been knowing you longer. Selfish with her. You won't even want to share your home with the lady who brought your husband here. So who am I? I guess I'm just an outsider. But I'm giving you the heads up on every residence that you've had me thrown out of, tossed out of. I'm doing what? I'm posting it back on my wall. Because, see, I'm giving validity to my own story. Am I going to pull up my court records? No, I'm going to just give everybody the address so they can go and look it up. Because all of them addresses wasn't in my name, Ellen. You forgot about that. See, pay attention. While I'm trying to make peace with your husband, I'm trying to lay down my sword for the Lord. Let me do that. Stop trying to burn up the olive branch that I'm offering your husband. Because I know that you don't want me to embarrass you. I know that. See, because I know what I know. See, I just need to tell what I know and you would be embarrassed. So give me the chance to make amends with your husband and stop this foolishness before I embarrass you, Ellen, and run all the people out your church that's probably sitting in there. If he ain't preaching today, stop it. I'm just telling you to stop. Because you're full of foolishness. You ain't got no Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost ain't tell you that me and Alan we've never had any type of intimacy. But don't worry, I'm going to drag you for how you acted yesterday. Don't worry. Oh, and stop playing with that man with that receipt, because this is what you do. Have people not give me receipts so then it look like I didn't pay them. I paid to be here. These are the type of games that you play. Right. I don't owe you anything, Ellen. I don't owe you respect. I don't owe you nothing for the last 10 years that you've done stuff to me. You've done some harsh stuff. Probably even had my son's car towed away. Did you think I was living there? Wait. Is you okay? You had my son's car towed off the block. You thought that I was living inside of a car? I wasn't living in. See, that's when I know your mind is warped. How could I be living inside of a car that he couldn't get open? Mine is warped. The young man couldn't even get the car open. Couldn't even pry the car open couldn't pry it open at all. You had the car towed away. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna drag you for filth later on. In about an hour or two. I'm gonna drag you. You deserve to be dragged. For yesterday not taking advantage of a teachable moment. That's what your pastor, your husband, your pastor, always say. A teachable, transparent moment yesterday. So come down to the place where you always talk about, we do ministry over there at the Women's Center. We got, right, and we had a whole block that you could have ministered to. But the thought never occurred. But don't worry, the thought going to occur when I drag you later, Ellen. Oh, and goodbye. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And everybody that came in the chat, thank you for the 23 people that did not drop down. Thank you all.